I just pulled these green beans out of the garden this morning. Delicious, fresh green beans. And these zucchini here. And so I'm gonna cook that up for lunch today. I know exactly what went into this. Chemical-free, totally organic, fresh, full of prana, full of vitality and life force. And so that's what we're cooking up for lunch today. And it's just such a beautiful part of this lifestyle, homesteading and living off-grid, is that you get to eat delicious food every day. And you know it's healthy, you know you're helping the environment and lowering your environmental impact on the planet, on Mother Earth. And it's so important to re-localize the food supply right now and to be more self-reliant and self-sufficient. Greetings, everyone. I'm here at our lovely homestead in the Andes Mountains of southern Chile. In this video, I want to discuss the importance of growing your own food, growing your own vegetables. Here we have a greenhouse. It's starting to get torn up from the wind and the rain. I need to replace some of the plastic. But this entire greenhouse we built with bamboo that grows here on our land. And the plastic we pay about $50 for. And I used some recycled lumber from other projects and whatnot. So it literally costs about $50. Takes a few days to build and put together. But at any rate, we have this greenhouse. We also have an outdoor garden. I'll show you here. So we have this outdoor garden as well, where we grow mostly herbs, medicinal herbs like wormwood, mint, a couple different varieties of mint, lemon balm, lemon verbena, sage, green sage, white sage, and a couple other things. We also grow some potatoes and onions out here as well. And then in the greenhouse here, we grow squash, tomatoes, carrots, chard, lettuce, kale, spinach, cabbage. I'm leaving a few things out, but anyway. So we try to grow about 30% of our food here. We have about a 7-month growing season where we live. It does get very cold here in the winters, maybe eight months, something like that, inside the greenhouse anyway. And so during those months, we typically try to grow about 25%, 30% of our food, something like that. I come out here in the garden every day, pick stuff and just eat it fresh. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, is the fact that this food that we grow is far healthier and chemical free. We don't use any pesticides, we don't use any fertilizers, herbicides, nothing. We don't put any chemicals on our food here, nothing. We use no chemicals. It's purely organic, and we're very lucky that we don't have a lot of pests here in southern Chile, and molds, insects. We really don't have a lot of issues with those things, luckily. And so we're able to grow all of our food completely organic and chemical free. And so that's one benefit of growing your own veggies, is you know that they don't have chemicals, they don't have glyphosate, they're not going to give you cancer, make you sick. Super important nowadays, because you really don't know where your vegetables are grown and what kind of chemicals they're using when they grow your vegetables. So that's the first benefit, is the fact that it's just healthier. It's better for you to grow your own organic vegetables. The second point I want to make is that they taste better. They're delicious. You know, anybody that's ever grown their own veggies knows how much better homegrown fresh veggies straight out of the garden taste. They're delicious. So, you know, a lot of people that are trying to transition from flesh consumption into just eating a plant-based diet. Sometimes they think, well, you know, I don't like the way vegetables taste. Well, I assure you, if you grow your own and you watch them grow and you take care of them, you cultivate them, you'll appreciate it more. And when you pull something fresh out of the garden and you prepare it that day, it does taste better, for sure. So we know it's healthier. We know it tastes much better. Another benefit has to do with long-term food costs. With inflation, food just keeps getting more and more expensive. And so by growing, you know, a percentage of your own food, you save a bunch of money. So we save a ton of money growing our own veggies here. You know, food prices are going to continue to increase. Food prices are tied to fuel prices. And so we know with the current, you know, global situation that fuel prices are going to continue to increase. Therefore, food prices are going to continue to increase. Everything's going to continue to increase. So if you want to lower your long-term food costs, I highly recommend growing some of your own food, even if you just start off growing 10 to 20% of your own food and just upping that a little bit every year. You'll be much happier because you'll be saving money and you'll be more self-sufficient and you'll have a more sustainable lifestyle. Super important. Another point is, or another benefit of growing your own food is the fact that it's better for the environment because you're re-localizing your food supply. So we all need to work towards the re-localization of the food supply, meaning that we don't have to burn fossil fuels in order to transport food. Sometimes, in some cases, thousands of miles, you know, it's ridiculous. So by growing your own food, you're going to benefit the planet as a whole, regardless of your beliefs about global warming and all that. We know burning fossil fuels, well, for one thing, it causes wars and global conflict. And it's bad for the environment. It's pollution, it's contamination. Anybody that's ever lived in a city with smog knows that you know, burning fossil fuels creates air pollution, and it's gross. You don't want to be inhaling that into your lungs and contaminating your temple. All right, so it's definitely much better for the environment, and it lowers the carbon footprint when we relocalize the food supply. And the last thing I'll mention is it's just growing your own food is much better for your mental and spiritual well-being. It's like a meditative act, getting out here in the garden, pulling weeds, planting seeds, watching things grow, you know, taking care of your veggies, and you know, harvesting, cooking fresh vegetables. It's a very meditative act, and it connects you to Mother Earth. It connects you to the planet, connects you to nature. And that's just such an essential part of the Essene lifestyle, is that back to nature mentality that we ought to have, you know. The Essenes, the Nazarenes, the Ebionites, they all lived very close to nature. Many of Yeshua's parables have to do with a very agrarian lifestyle, and they were all living this agrarian lifestyle close to nature, growing their own food, cultivating food, and all that. So it's super important. And also, you know, these vegetables, you're using fresh, you know, clean water. They're growing in the fresh sunlight, fresh air. And so they have prana, they have life force energy. You know, they're not devoid of prana, devoid of life force energy, like a lot of the, you know, vegetables that are grown from big agra, full of glyphosate and harmful chemicals and everything. So if you want to improve your health, improve your spiritual well-being, it's good to eat fresh, prana-rich foods that are full of that life force energy, that vital energy. And you'll feel much better energetically. You'll have a clearer mind and a sharper mind, a more discerning mind when you're eating healthy, fresh, prana-rich food. So I just can't emphasize enough the importance of growing your own food and not relying on, you know, grocery stores and supermarkets to provide for you. You should have a more self-sufficient lifestyle if you're really interested in, you know, being more self-empowered. So Self-empowerment, a big part of self-empowerment and not being dependent upon the man for your food, for your well-being, for your sustenance. A big part of self-empowerment is growing your own food and providing for yourself and for your family so that you don't have to rely on anyone else for your own sustenance and well-being. Lots of love. Many blessings.